Hey, what's going on, guys? Blitz here, the Survival Outpost. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. How to plan and pack a cache starts now. So first, let's just ask the obvious question. Why would you actually want to do this? Why would you want to plant a cache? Well, I mean, first thing that maybe comes to mind, it's pretty cool to think about. Maybe you're gonna get raided by the feds and you gotta store away some guns for future use or the government. Ooh, did I just say that? No, sorry, listen, don't bully me, FBI. I don't believe in war against the government. That's just me. But point is, maybe you need to hide that contraband for future use. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going through a divorce and your ex is trying to clean you out, so you need to take some of the bars of gold and dig a hole in the ground and save them for later so she can't get to them, right? But all joking aside, probably the most important reason why you would ever want to do a cache is to introduce a layer of redundancy into your survival strategy and not put all your eggs in one basket. So that's how I'm looking at the situation. Now let's go ahead and break down 3 different types of survival caches. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first item, and that is the resupply cache. And this cache can be planted or should be planted near your home, near your bug out destination, or along your evacuation route. And the focus here is packing in items that you're gonna run through and use in a survival situation that are not magically renewable. So I'm talking things like food, water, ammo, fuel, electronics, and things of that nature. Next is the bug out bag cache. Let's imagine a situation where you have to make a hasty exit out of town and you either don't have time to grab your primary kit or it's taken off of your person or whatever the case is, you don't have it on you. And that's not cool because without that, you probably feel pretty damn naked. This stash can serve as a retrieval point to collect necessary gear, and yeah, maybe you even have a complete bag packed and ready to go at that location. Now, ideally, you always have a get home bag with you like the one that you see here. My bag weighs in at 10 pounds and is perfect for keeping a low profile and moving fast. But in order to operate with the get home bag, one would want to have either a resupply cache or a bug out bag cache firmly established. Our third cache is the contraband cache. So imagine the government bans stuff, right? Or local gangs are in your area, like going house to house and robbing people, or new restrictions prevent access to certain things, and you get the general idea, right? So with that, you could have anything in there from gold bars to guns to whatever the government has deemed to be contraband. And this type of cache ideally would be something that you would plant maybe 6 feet under, and it would be super secure and kept away from prying eyes, and you would only need to do this and gain access to this cache in the event of total civil war or total societal breakdown, right? So when they show up to your house and say well, we got this list of these bad evil guns that you have, sir, so can you please hand those over? And you'd be like, you know what, I'm so sorry, those were all lost in an unfortunate boating accident. I do only have one gun left, which is this rusty piece of crap 22, which I'm more than happy to give to you. Meanwhile, inside you're chuckling because there's a 55-gallon drum in a secret location 6 feet down with a bunch of badass weapons wrapped in cosmoline that are just waiting for you to come and retrieve them. Now for today's video, I'm going to focus on the resupply cache because this is going to be the easiest one to demonstrate, the easiest one to pack, and I think it's the one that makes the most sense for most people. So let's go ahead and talk about it, and we're going to break down the container and what I have actually stored in here. Now real quick, it's important to talk about the container that you choose for the cache. For this resupply cache, I've chosen a small container because I want to conceal this above ground. This is already green. It's already kind of like a hard plastic construction with a really good seal around it. It had great reviews on Amazon and also a great price, and it fits my resupply items perfectly. And so you might choose a container like this, but let's say you choose a dry bag. That's cool. Maybe you choose a PVC pipe. That also works. So the container you choose is obviously related to the purpose of your cache and what actually goes in the cache. So think about this, right? We got this resupply cache here. We see how that's set up. We see the container that's being used. But let's say you want to do a contraband cache. Then maybe you're using PVC pipes or a 55-gallon drum where you dump in all your weapons and your gold bars and some food and some radios and a bunch of ammo, and you're ready to like break that out in like, I don't know, in a major emergency situation, like outbreak of civil war. Hey, let's go down that abandoned road and start digging and pull up our stuff and go set the record straight. Okay, so now we go ahead and figure out what we're actually going to put in the cache, and we need to keep in mind that this is a resupply cache, and that means I want to put items in here that I am going to actually use, and then I need to replenish said items after I use them. So stuff like food, water, fuel, ammo, you guys get the general idea. So let's go ahead and look at it. So what I got out here, I got emergency purified drinking water, and I have a whole bunch of these. Each one of these is 4 ounces a piece. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 32 ounces of water right here. This is a good deal. Then food. I kind of debated a little bit on this. You can kind of sort it out however you want. You could use like, throw a bunch of MREs in here. You could field strip MREs and just put the entrees in here. You could put beef jerky in here, all that type of stuff, right? So I guess I'm feeling like I want to do it a little bit differently and kind of focus on protein and carbohydrates and foods that I really don't have to cook. And then maybe a few items that would be nice to actually be able to cook in bulk. So what do we got here? We got some granola bars. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then got a couple of these Quest cookies. I love this brand. It's a great protein, healthy bodybuilder, fitness, type of brand. And the macros are insane on these. For one cookie, it's like literally 220 calories. You get a lot of good fat, a lot of good protein and carbs. So there's 500 calories right here. Each one of these is 190 calories. I'm gonna be posting up the running macros right here. And then, so food-wise, that's that. And then I also want to throw in some America's Finest mac and cheese, which I've cooked in a previous video. Feel free to check that out. I'm gonna throw the little suggestion up right there. So we got that, and this cooks up in the bulk, and you end up having 4 servings per container. You get about 1,200 calories, or am I bad at math? 1,000 calories. And then we get some oatmeal, which is a pretty easy one to cook up. And here you get 8 servings at 210 calories a piece. And if my math serves me right, 800 times 200, we're talking about 1,600 calories. So we might have about, I don't know, a lot of calories there. So we got our food, we got our water, and then I threw in a box 50 rounds of FMJ 9mm. Right now we're just gonna keep it focused on pistol ammo. And then I also just wanted to throw a blade in here. And I know that, I got a ton of these and it'd probably be all good, but you never know what happens. So just having access to a blade in a resupply cache, I think is a good idea. This is a Mora, and it is one of my favorite blades of all time. It has this custom leather case on it and a fire steel as well, and some tinder down here too. So I think this is probably gonna be a good fit for the resupply cache. Now, one thing to mention is that we don't want our blades to rust. This is stainless steel. However, things happen, right? So what I like to do is I have one of these, this is a handgun storage bag. It's a dry bag, completely sealed. And I know I'm putting it in a container that is sealed, but listen, I've done this before and I've come back to a cache and it has been wrecked. So we'll throw this in a bag just for safety. Now, next move, let's see if it all fits. So listen, in future videos, we're going to dig into actually finding a good location to plant your cash, planting the cash, and then recover the cash. That's all the fun stuff. But we're also going to touch on a subject that a lot of people don't talk about, and that is actually maintenance of the cash. Because let's imagine this scenario. You plant your cash in a place that seems perfect. You walk away, you forget it, in a couple years or whatever time period, you come back to get that cash, and guess what? A shopping mall has been built over top of it, or something else has happened that prevents your access to the cash, and you could have prevented all that heartache and pain simply by checking up on your cash from time to time to make sure that it's going to be okay, and it will be there for you when you need it the most. Because let me say something right now, if you're actually having to retrieve that cash under duress, that means the situation is pretty freaking bad. So you better hope that you've covered all your P's and Q's and that cash is where you believe it to be. Now, with that being said, I've done caching before back in Tennessee and kind of went the old school route of like digging a hole in the ground and, you know, putting something 6 feet under. After doing that, I realized there's a lot of work involved here. I have to dig a big hole, and then I have to haul that dirt out of there. And then when I come back to get it, guess what? Maybe the ground has shifted enough that I'm digging right where I think it's at, and I can't find it. And let's say I find it. The recovery operation might take me an hour, might take me 2 hours, and I might be alone. Well, I'm focused on getting this cash. People could roll up on me and cause some trouble, right? And then let's say that doesn't happen at all, and I'm able to get the cash out. Guess what? I have to then cover and camouflage that area where I just dug up my cash, right? So there's a lot of, I guess, cons that go in and negatives that go into actually digging a hole in the ground. So that's why my strategy now has changed. And you'll see in the future videos that we're not digging a hole to plant the cash really anymore, unless it's a contraband cash where I don't think I'm going to come back to see this or need it like for a long time. So I've somehow now been able to magically read your mind and queue up some content that I think you will like to watch. So why don't you hang out, crack open your favorite energy drink or your favorite beverage, have a little bite of food, watch some more videos, and you can kind of check out how I went with the caching operation the first time, how I planted it, and how things have evolved from that point. And that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification so you get notified whenever I release new videos, especially one regarding caching, because if there's anything that is super relevant nowadays, I really do think it is caching and being able to hide or bury your treasure for future use. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.